YouTube, what's going on? What's the deal? It's your boy Moose, and today I'm giving you guys probably my most requested video. Actually, it is my most requested video. I don't know why I'm saying probably, but every time I look at my DM messages or in the comments or wherever, this is usually what people ask me the most, and they're asking me how am I able to afford my brand new BMW M4 competition while I'm still in school. I attend college right now, and I study computer science. And you know, generally speaking, like when someone's in college, they don't have a car like this. This car was about $80,000 with the taxes and everything out the door, and it's by no means I think a cheap car, you know what I'm saying? Average car is around 20-30K, right? This car is 4 times the price of an average car. So people always ask me, man, how are you able to afford a car like this and you're 21 years old, right? So I thought, you know what, why not make that today's video and go ahead and let you guys know what I do to afford it, and also give you guys like a bit of like advice on certain things, or like my mentality and how I think. So you know, let's cut straight to the chase, and then I'm gonna keep it nice and simple for people who just want to figure out what I do and exit out the video. You feel me? I don't feel no type of way about it. I'm gonna tell y'all can go on y'all way, you know what I'm saying, and do what y'all want to do. I don't take it to heart. Short answer is I have an online business. I do e-commerce, and then that's how I was able to make my money for this car right here. And instead of buying a car, shoot, probably could have had a car like this 2 years ago or so. I just was trying to save my money and generate other streams of income, you know what I'm saying? That was like the main focus for me. But that's basically what I do, and that's how I'm able to afford this car. Didn't get no handout for it, got it completely on my own, you know what I'm saying? My parents ain't give me no money to buy it, nothing like that. I paid for it all by myself, and that's the short answer. So if anyone wants to go ahead and click out of the video, y'all are more than welcome to do so. But for the people that want to stick around and know a little bit more detail, that's what I'm gonna go ahead and do and give y'all in the remaining part of this video. So let's get into it. Oh yeah, check me out. Am I fly today? You know what I'm saying? It's my birthday, so I was like, I gotta come clean, you know. But boom, we got the Amiri. I'm gonna flip the camera. We got the little Amiri jacket going on, you know. Hold on, plain black tee underneath with some Amiri jeans and some LVs. You know, I'm feeling a little fly today. But yeah, let me go ahead and show y'all the car, man. Forget my fit. Let's show y'all the car, right? So this right here is my beautiful BMW M4 competition. This is a 2022 M4. I absolutely love this car. And all the mods you see on this car, guys, are from motivomotoring.com. So if you need any mods for your BMW, whether it be an M car or a non-M car, we got something for you, you know. So check us out. All of our stuff is real high quality. I mean, look at the fitment, you know what I'm saying? You getting quality. Now, my prices are really aggressive. They're very cheap for what you're getting, because I see a lot of the competitors online selling products with cheaper quality for the same price we're selling our stuff for. So you guys definitely wouldn't be disappointed. Come check us out at motivomotoring.com, and we will get your car together. I'm also going to give you guys a 10% discount code, which will be in the comment section below in this video, and you know, you can go ahead and use that towards your purchases. Everything you see on this car cosmetically is from Motivo Motoring. Even these taillights, right? Let's come up on the taillights real quick before we start talking about the topic of the video. Boom, hitting, right? And yeah, I'm real happy with how this car is coming out, man. When I first got this car, I wasn't fully in love with it. I felt like it was missing a lot of things, but now it's starting to really come along together real nicely, right? Go ahead and show you guys the inside as well. Silverstone interior, right? Super sick interior though. I'm a huge fan of it, as y'all can see. And yeah, let's go ahead and talk about what I do, right? I was like, I want to just give y'all a little walk around of the car before we go into some detail, but yeah, let's go ahead and do it. Hold on one sec. Damn, she looked good. I can't tell me she's not looking fire. And also let me know what kind of mods y'all want me to do on this car next. I'm thinking it's pretty much almost to where it needs to be, but I got some heat for you guys. So y'all gotta stay tuned for that in the next video, right? We got some nice mods coming. We got, like I said, gotta make this car a little bit louder, so we got some for that. Best sound system, exhaust system you will see for an M4 ever. We got that coming, right? Stay tuned for that video. I'll probably drop it real soon. I'm saying maybe within the next couple videos it's gonna come out, so stay tuned for that. And we got some other stuff as well, like different set of wheels. So I don't know if you guys are gonna be happy or upset about it, but I think the new set I'm about to get is gonna even be sicker than these ones, and I like these ones a lot. But that's enough yapping. Let's go ahead and talk about what y'all want to know. All right, y'all. So ever since I was like younger, you know what I'm saying, ever since I was as early as I can remember, I always liked cars, right? So that was my thing. I was looking up videos of like supercars when I was a kid. I was like 6, 5, whatever, 7, and I'd always just be thinking like, damn, how are these people getting these cars, right? Because I knew when I was that young, I knew at the time my dad couldn't purchase something like that, because a car is 200K and you make 40K, 50K, whatever, 60K average salary, you make that in a year. Getting a car like that is something that you really can't do, right? So I started just realizing that, and then I started looking into it a little bit at an earlier age, like what do people do to be able to afford stuff like that, right? And what I quickly realized was usually the people with stuff like that are either investors or entrepreneurs, right? So it opened my mind up early to the possibilities that come with having your own business, investing and doing that kind of thing, right? I was still super young, so obviously I couldn't really do much. But when I was like in high school, and so I was flipping shoes, I feel like everybody and their moms tried that at one point. That was what I was doing a little bit. You know, my parents used to do a shoe a year, right? So I get one shoe, and when I was younger, them shoes wasn't hitting, right? It wasn't too nice. Like one shoe a year, and you know, I just had to make it work, right? But then I remember the first nice pair of shoes I got was about, I think 8th grade or 7th grade. I got a pair of Jordan 5s I found on eBay. They were brand new. They were retro 5s, brand new. They was like 120 bucks. So after I got those shoes, right, I wore them, enjoyed them. Then I started trading them, right? What I used to do, I used to clean them up, trade shoes, get a beat up pair of kicks, clean them up, restore them, flip them, get another pair. That's kind of what I was doing, right? But it wasn't as much money in it. Obviously there's some people who do really good with that stuff, but for me, I wasn't getting too much success with it. And around 2019 or so, yeah, it was 2019, around the end of 2019, I remember I just sold all of my Jordans I had, right? I had a couple of pairs of Jordans. I was still in high school at the time. I sold all of them, and the reason I sold all of them is because I had decided I wanted to try something different to make money. I'm gonna go ahead and cut the video. I don't know if that plane up there, if y'all can see it, I don't know if it's messing with the audio or not, so I'm gonna cut it and come back. But all right, I think the plane's gone, as y'all can see over there. But yeah, I ended up selling all the shoes I had. I had a business idea. I was just like, I gotta figure out a way to make it happen, right? So I sold the shoes, probably got, I don't know how much, probably like 800 or so from it. Boom, started the business. I had a little bit of money saved. I used to work at Walmart for a little bit, quit after like 3 months though, because I realized it wasn't for me, right? And the business I started was just reselling electronics online, right? And I started off, this was around the end of 2019, so this was like Thanksgiving-ish / Christmas time, so a lot of people have money that they were looking to spend, right? And I remember I'd be buying like little speakers and stuff, selling them on Facebook, selling them online, and people would actually be paying me sometimes even over retail for it because the item would be so cheap. But I slowly just kind of saved my way up and then started just reinvesting whatever I made, like profit-wise, back into what I was doing. And then I kind of just went from there and let it grow, right? And then the nice thing for me at the time, like I was living at home, right? So any money I made, I was able to just put it right back in. And eventually over time, like, I started seeing that money grow and grow more. And it got to the point where I remember I was like seriously considering buying like either a Mercedes or a Scatback, like a CLS 63. And I had the money saved for that, right? And I still decided not to do it. I was like, you know what? I'm gonna go ahead and keep doing what I'm doing right now and try to make something happen, right? Make something go and make like more money and a better opportunity for me, because I have more money to spend, right? So when you have more money to spend, usually it's like a lot easier to make good money. And I kind of had a little system going, right? At first I was selling stuff in person, then I really flipped to selling stuff online, because in person it's a lot of risk, especially when you're selling something like an electronic, right, which is in demand. And with electronics, like specifically with phones and that kind of thing, or like iPad or whatever, there's really strong resale value, right? So the secondhand market might be just slightly cheaper than what the retail market prices are, right? So people really want those devices. So I didn't feel like safe just consistently selling in person, so I started switching it online, and that's how I was doing. I was buying and selling online, and in person as well. Any issue I've ever had with that business was dealing in person, right? It's too much risk anyways. So yeah, I ended up doing that business, right? I saved a good amount of money to the point where I had disposable income. Instead of buying the car, I put some money in just normal stock shares. I made some really good money on the normal stock shares. At the time, it was like 2021. So you could have bought any stock with your eyes closed and expect like a 20% return or whatever. So I did really good with that. Had some more money saved up. Then at that point, this was like I want to say about a year and a half-ish later, that's when I ended up deciding to go ahead and buy my first M4, right? I bought my first BMW M4. It was a 2016 BMW M4. Loved that car. I had my fun with it. Financed it. And then when it came time to sell it, I actually sold it and made a profit. And I was planning on getting an AMG GT, right? And that car that I wanted was a GTS, super clean white with the HREs on it. Sold. So it kind of, I was like, damn, what should I do now, right? And I started looking at other cars on the market. And I already knew what these cars did, right, performance-wise. So I said, you know what, I might go ahead and get an M4. And one of my friends actually was selling this car, which his name is Will. Check him out, Will Motivation on YouTube. He's getting ready to trade this car in for a new M4. So I was like, you know what, man, I'll buy your car, right? And that's what ended up happening. I ended up buying this car, and I ended up starting a second business, right? So at first I was selling electronics. Now this new business I started is focused on selling cosmetic parts, right? It's motivomotoring.com, and if anyone wants whatever cosmetic part on their car, come check us out at motivomotoring.com and we'll get you together, right? But for me, what made me want to start that business specifically was I felt like a lot of the people that were selling these parts were kind of ripping people off. They were getting away with a lot of stuff that I feel like generally wouldn't be the case if like there was a strong, solid competitor, right? So that's kind of what made me want to start this business specifically. And my parts, I did a lot of due diligence on them. You know what I'm saying? My quality is A1. And for me personally, I feel like my main goal with this business is to get as many people using our parts as possible. It's not really the profit, because the profit will always come. My philosophy with like business in general is, instead of trying to milk the most amount of profit, you should try to get the most amount of quantity, right? So even if you get slightly less of a profit per item, the amount that you're selling will make up for it. So my profit margins are pretty slim actually on that business, but the quality that you're getting is A1. You know what I'm saying? It ain't no BS. It ain't nothing cheap. You know, you're getting the right stuff. So I just want to get that stuff out there to people as much as possible, get people on our parts and get our reputation up there. So that's what made me start the business. And I already know what looks good and what doesn't. I feel like I got good taste when it comes to modifying cars and stuff. So I don't know, it felt like the right thing to do. I really do enjoy what I do in that business. So that's what made me want to start it. And I'll also give you guys some advice on things that I felt like really helped me a lot, that I think a lot of people tend to overlook. I feel like the biggest thing a lot of people overlook is that your mentality is like very important, right? I feel like a lot of people see a car like this and the first thing they think is, oh, let me hate, or let me say something negative, or they think they can't get a car like this. And I feel like if you put that in your head, that is almost guaranteeing that something like this will never happen, right? Because when you confidently feel like you can achieve something, you start making the right decisions towards getting those things, right? So if you see someone with a car like this, or you see a car you really like, it don't even gotta be an M4, it could be a Lambo or whatever, and you put it in your mind that like you can make that happen, you can achieve it, I feel like you have a way better chance in achieving it, right? It's a lot of people will message me and be like, oh, I don't think I'm gonna be able to get this car, I don't think it'll ever happen for me. And when you say stuff like that, you completely wipe out your chances against something like that. So I think that's the number one thing that people need to know, right? The advice I'm gonna give you guys, I'd say, is gonna be fairly broad, because what works for me might not work for you, and what might work for you might not work for me, right? But I feel like some of this stuff is stuff that you can always apply, right? Number two is you have to be around the right people, right? So me, when I was younger, around maybe like 16 or so, 15, I met my mentor. His name was Will, right? Will Motivation. Will, I remember going to a car meet, right? I went to these car meets specifically to kind of open my eyes up and be around successful people more, right? And I just remember first time I met Will, he pulled up in this Huracan, white Huracan. I'm thinking it's gonna be some older dude, right? Different complexion. That's what I thought, right? So when I seen Will, and he was like a younger dude and he looks like me, I was inspired. So I started chopping it up with him, and like I was really trying to pick his brain and figure out what he did to get that car, because you know, it's not something that you always see. And for me, I didn't even see like a Lambo until really late into my teens, right? So being around Will, I try to provide as much value as I possibly could at the time. It didn't mean I have to go take his business and like blow it up or something and make it like super successful. Providing value is just simple like stuff, right? So if Will needed help with anything, I was always there trying to help him out. I was just trying to be around him more, right? Because I was trying to soak as much like game from him as possible, right? Because that's someone that I wanted to be like, right? So me being around Will kind of opened me up to his network and everything. And from there, like I started being around a lot of people that were millionaires. And when you the first time I saw a Lambo, I was like, damn, they're acting up. I remember the first time I seen a Lambo, I was like, damn, that's a Lambo, right? I was like, how do you even make that happen, right? It felt like really unattainable for me. But after being around those guys a lot, and these dudes have Lambos casually, it's nothing, you know, you just see it so much, it's like normalized for you. So now that like you see them do it, you're like, oh, okay, I already know what to do, right? I got the blueprint for this. This isn't nothing too crazy, right? It's just gonna take a little bit of time. So being around the right people will really help you out, right? It's very important to be around the right group of people. You don't want to be around a bunch of bums, because most likely you're going to be the fifth bum, right? But if you're around a lot of people who are doing good things, trying to make the most out of their life and situation, then it's bound for you guys to succeed. I feel like definitely is an important thing that a lot of people overlook, is being around the right group of people. And then third, if you're going to go ahead and start a business, I'd say just having a solid like understanding and knowledge of whatever you do is always gonna be better than having a lot of money, right? So after my electronics business, when I first started that business, I didn't have any money, right? So I just kind of worked my way up to where I was, or where I got to, right? And I had a lot of money saved up, so I got confident, I got cocky, right? I went and started like a new business, and things didn't end up working out too good for me with that, and I spent way too much money setting everything up. and trying to get it like to how it needs to be, right? Or in my head, like the best possible way to where it like succeed the quickest, right? I was trying to basically take shortcuts, is what I'm trying to say. Like I was putting too much money into that venture where I could have easily been fine doing like a couple $1,000s, right? 3-4K or whatever. And just slowly working my way up and growing it. So I say that to say, if you have a business that you want to start and you have a lot of money saved up, I try to approach it in a way to where you only get what you really need, right? Because especially if you don't have solid results to where you're confident that if you invest more capital in, that your business is going to do better, there's no point for you to just spend a whole bunch of your hard-earned, saved up money, right? Start your business small, scale it up, work your way up, because you got to understand how everything works. You got to be able to manage small money before you can go ahead and manage bigger amounts of money. And yeah, that's definitely something that's very important. I'd say number 4 for you guys that I'd also think is crucial is, and then the 4th piece of advice I'd say is try to give yourself as many avenues to make money and like succeed as possible, right? So generally people will be like, oh, if you already make money, why are you in college, right? And for me, I feel like it would be the best thing for me to do is stay in school and get my education as well, because in the end of the day, having a business is always going to be a risk, right? It's not going to be always guaranteed, right, that you do good or succeed. Things might slow down, things might happen, right? And if you have a valid skill set, a high value skill set, to where for me, my goal is to be a software engineer, right? That's what I'm doing, and that's why I'm in school. But if you have that skill set, I feel like you could never fail, right? For me, I'm not too worried about, like, I'm gonna always have my hands in some sort of business, but having that degree is like a level of cushioning for me to where I feel like if things happen, I can fall back on my degree, right? And for me, software engineering is a really good place to be at. If you're a software engineer, you have a lot of opportunities to succeed, right? The industry is like a really lucrative industry to be in. There's a lot of money to be made from being a software engineer, and you know, you can come out of college making $150,000 a year easy, right? So there's a lot of opportunities with like college, right? You just got to be able to realize what you want, and don't just waste your, I feel like you shouldn't be wasting your money on a degree that won't really give you a good return, right? So if I'm able to be a software engineer, right, and what comes with software engineering is the skill to be able to program whatever you want, that skill along with my understanding of like business, I feel like will be fundamental for like just whatever business I start, right? Because everything right now is online, right? Whatever business you have, generally speaking, you're gonna need a website for it, or some sort of online payment processor for it, or whatever, right? So that's the reason I actually decided to be a software engineer instead of a business major of some sort. I felt like it provided me with more value, and that's what I ended up doing. But try to make as many opportunities for yourself as possible. Don't always be fixed on one thing. Try to make yourself flexible, right? You got to have multiple ways of becoming successful. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes stuff doesn't always work out how you expect it to work out, and that's fine, right? But you got to have backups. You got to have other things you could do to make you successful, or help you put yourself in the position you want to be in, right? Because a lot of the stuff like that I do or we do, we might not enjoy doing it, but the results that come from it is what makes it worth it, right? So for me, school might not be something I fully enjoy doing, and I feel like school is kind of taken back from me making money right now. But I know in the long run, me getting my education, me having a good degree, and me being a software engineer is going to pay significant dividends for whatever like I do in the future, right? Whether it be work a corporate job or have my own business or whatever. Like, me being able to program is crucial, and that's why I'm still in school, right? Even though I have I'm sufficient and I can live on my own and I'm comfortable and that kind of thing. But yeah, that's like the advice I'd give you guys as well. and apply it to whatever you do in your life, and then hopefully you guys will get to where you need to get to. I still don't feel like I'm where I need to be 100%, but I'm pretty happy with the progress I made, you know what I'm saying? So that's stuff I'm gonna just continue to apply in my life. And if you guys want to interview with my mentors and how they were able to succeed and get to where they're at now, I'm go ahead and give y'all that as well. So drop me a comment, and drop me a comment if y'all made it this far into the video. I definitely appreciate you guys and all your support, and hopefully this video is informative, or it kind of opens your eyes up a little bit, right? And one last thing, generally speaking, like when I bought this car, people were always like, oh, why did you buy it? Why did you buy it? I felt like for me, it's like a trophy, right? All the work I put in to be able to get a car like this, if I just had the money sitting, I felt like it wouldn't be tangible, right? So I felt like I needed to get a car like this because this is something that I enjoy a lot, and it brings me a lot of joy, right? And on top of it bringing me joy and fulfillment, this car right here allowed me to start another business, which is Motivo Motoring, where I sell car parts. So could I have started that business without the car? For sure. But I think the car is just gonna make it easier for people to gravitate towards what I do in my business. And you know, sometimes people will be saying, do the logical thing, do the smart thing. The smart thing would have been for me to have a $3,000, $4,000 car that I just drive around in. But you gotta live a little bit, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what I wanted to say as well. And I appreciate all you guys supporting. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. If you did, feel free to go ahead and drop a like, comment, subscribe, and check out motivomotoring.com. We're sponsoring ourselves in this video. But yeah, I appreciate you guys, man. Y'all be easy, stay safe.